Another website that I wanted to talk about is actually Sporcle. So Sporcle has a lot of kind of random quizzes on it. Some are just for fun, some are actually educational based, and you can actually create your own quizzes as well. There is also a kind of competition aspect to this, which is really kind of nice at times to get students a little bit more engaged with whatever you're talking about. But I like to use Sporcle every once in a while as just kind of a fun day kind of thing. So there are a bunch of different categories that you can look through, so like geography, history, literature, language. I, of course, always go for the science. And, you know, there's a lot of stuff about chemical elements and different things like that. So there are a lot of ads on this site, which gets kind of annoying, but if you can get past those, then it's all good. But this really gives a lot of practice for a lot of things. So like this one would be complete the DNA strand. So you have to figure out what's going to pair with each DNA base as you go down. They can be timed, so they have a time limit to try to get through as much as possible. And then they're relatively simple once you get into them. You basically just type whatever letter, in this case, would pair. So this is a great way of just kind of practicing and making sure that the students get kind of up to speed with going through this quickly, especially because they are timed. And they can, again, compete with each other. They do have to create an account in order to do that, which I know we've had some issues with that because our web server or our email server doesn't really let them sign up for things using their school email, so that has been a little bit of an issue, but otherwise, you know. And then you can also see the average score, so see how they compare to the average score and everything. So I find them pretty useful. One of the ones that I've used the most is actually called Erase the Periodic Table. So for my chemistry students, I had them memorize at least parts of the periodic table. Oh, it's still loading. Come on. So this one was actually a really great way to kind of do that. Basically, this one tells you a different element name, and you actually have to find it on the periodic table based on its symbol. So you can skip if you don't know them and then come back to them, and then you just click on them and they erase. And this one is actually set up that the first time you make a mistake, that's over. It ends the whole, like here, that was a mistake. And it can tell you, again, what the average score is. It can tell you some, well, maybe not that. Where was it? Here. It can tell you some like average scores and the Hall of Fame kind of people, and then which ones are, you know, frequently missed sometimes versus how many people get like all of them right, how many get like 3 to 7 right here, things like that. So this one was actually a really great tool for my chemistry students when they were learning the periodic table. And it's actually kind of difficult. I mean, I've used the periodic table for years, and it was difficult for me to remember everything. So this was a really fun one, and they actually really enjoyed doing this as well. So I like using Sporcle a lot. I just wish they'd get rid of the ads.